So the meaning of Shamla was Kali goddess. And here only Gorkhas were living here earlier. Gorkhas and Pahadi people. Pahadi people are the people from the mountainous. So they were staying here. But when the British Raj was here, they were staying in Calcutta. And the Viceroy, the commander, the whole, they were staying over there, the whole administration. But during summers, like today also it is 45 degree and above in Calcutta. So they wanted to be away from the heat. They couldn't cope up with those temperatures. So from Calcutta till Kalka, they came by train, broad gauge train, in 1864. But here the train which you were there yesterday, how many of you liked it? Once in a lifetime, you have to take the bus. It is into the heritage, UNESCO. From 2008 onwards, it's into the UNESCO list. So they came by the train by broad gauge till Kalka. It took 3 to 4 days for them. And from Kalka to here, because this train was built, the small train, the toy train, that was built in 1903. So they were here already here in 1864. So from Kalka to Shimla, it is 96 kilometers, 96. And the train takes 5.5 hours to 6 hours. And the car takes 3 hours. So that time the only mode of transportation was horses, donkeys, mules, buggies. So guess how many days it would have taken them to come up here? Any guesses?
2 weeks.
It took only 21 days. 21 days because the whole administration is to come here. Okay? Slowly, slowly, picnics, halts, tent, gin, tonic, wine, beer, and then they were here. When they were here, it was like coming back home. The flora, the fauna, the wind, the weather. So then they started to stay here for 6 months. So from March to October, they were here. During summers, they made this one as the summer capital. Winters, they used to go back to Calcutta, and later on the capital shifted to Delhi in 1922. But when they were here, they couldn't pronounce that word Shamla, or they didn't like, so they changed from Shamla to Simla, S-I-M-L-A, Simla. And later on when they left in 1947, then we changed to Shimla, S-H-I-M-L-A. So like that we got these 3 words, Shamla, Simla and Shimla. And earlier this was Punjab. But Punjab has entirely different culture and this place has different. So there was one Professor Parmar, local, he put Punjab down. And now Chandigarh is the capital of Punjab as well as of Haryana. It's the union territory. And he named this one as Himachal Pradesh. Him comes from Himalayas. Him means snow and Pradesh is a province. So like that we got this word Himachal Pradesh. Since Himachal Pradesh is the state, Shimla is the capital of Himachal Pradesh. So we have 3 commerce which we really depend upon. Since Shimla is the capital, so we have a lot of government service people going here. Number 1. Number 2, 1 hour above Shimla you go is all terraces, terrace farming. And the main cash crop which we grow there is apples. 11 varieties of apples. Good snow means good apples. Snow is very important. So every year good snow means good apples. We have 11 varieties of apples. Apples, cherries, walnuts, almonds, plums, peaches, apricots, peas, beans, cauliflower, potatoes, all these things are grown on the terraces. So because of this, the people here, the farmers are very rich. They are doing very well. All of them have a very good house in the farms. 1. Second house, they have it in here in the city because the children are studying here. Some of them are working here. Okay. And the third, which we have, commerce, and all of them have cars because they're doing quite well. And number 3, what we have is tourism, the commerce. But tourism only for 6 months and 6 months off. Why? Because 3 months we have monsoons. July, August, September is monsoon. You must have seen on the TV also. This time we had a horrible monsoon. You can see the landslides and all. Behind also we were supposed to go to the gardens. We could have seen beautiful Himalayas. Today the view is fantastic. Last week I just had to tell my guests that's Himalayas. They have to trust on me. But today you are very lucky. You can see the Himalayas 80 miles away from here, the Himalayas, at a crow fly speed 80 miles. And 21,000 feet and above stretches like this towards Indo-Tibet, Korea, China, which is 350 kilometers. That's it. Okay, so the end of December, January, February, we have snow. So all the roads get blocked up and all those. So we have winter holidays, -5, -6 degrees. January, February is all holidays for the school children. everything is closed, the school. We have summer schooling because makes sense, 20 to 25 degrees temperature, and winters are cold, so winters we don't have anything. So these are the three comers which we really depend upon. And Shimla is 300,000 plus is the population of Shimla town, and still it is growing day to day. Okay, and Shimla is 7,000 feet above sea level, which is 2,000 meters above sea level. So the main language here is Hindi, English, Punjabi. These are the languages spoken here. And this building which we will be going here inside, because it will be a big group, so being your personal guide, just want to tell you, when you go inside the building, you will see this building is built in baronial Scottish style. Baronial Scottish style. And Henry Irwin was the chief architect who has built this building. And this was built in 1884 till 88. It took 4 years to build this building. Very good, because in those times, they were not so much labor also. So 4 years is good. Why? When you go inside, you will see all the flooring is done by the cedar wood. The cedar wood. The flooring is done by the cedar wood. And the walls inside the buildings are done by the teak wood, Burma teak wood, that was bought from Burma. And one of the rooms, the ceiling is done by the walnut wood, that was bought from Kashmir. So when you go inside, first of all, photographies are not allowed inside the building. Okay. So here 13 viceroys stayed here. From Lord Dufferin to Lord Mountbatten, 13 viceroys were here. That's why we call it the Viceregal Lodge. 13 viceroys stayed here. Queen never came, so viceroys were here. But in 1942, the movement started about the partition. So Muhammad Ali Jinnah was here, Nehru was here, Patel was here, and Lord Wavell. But that that conference got failed. It couldn't work out. But in 1947, Lady Edwina Mountbatten were here. Lady Edwina, a bit naughty, but beautiful lady. You must be knowing also. We can't tell you more because here we had a lot of pictures also inside. She got friendly to Nehru, and Nehru and she was very good friends. They had a very good relation. So in 1947, the upper hand was of Mountbatten and Lady Edwina. They gave the first Prime Minister to Nehru, and he became the first Prime Minister here. But then Jinnah got ragged. Why didn't I get a position? He was also equally qualified from Oxford University. But then he got ragged, then he took off all the Muslims and the others who wanted to go. So the discussion was taken place here. And Ladakh, Pakistan was created in 1947. But Jinnah was a chain smoker. Just after 6 months he died because he had a lung cancer. But he created Pakistan. And then Nehru became the first Prime Minister here. He was staying here. But he thought, what to do of such a huge building for me? So he handed over this building to the President of India. So our Indian President used to come and live here. But second President, Dr. Radharam Krishan, he was a great scholar. He also thought what to do of such a huge building. So in 1965, he handed over this building to the Indian Institute of Advanced Studies. So now this is a post-doctor research center in the field of humanities and social sciences. So now anybody can come and do the research, but the minimum qualification is PhD. And the governing body is in Delhi. And from there you have been selected. Once you get selected, then you get a stipend. And when you publish a book, then you get a royalty for that. So very important fellows, those who come here, they stay in and around the campus, but they do the research work inside. So therefore, that's why we are not allowed to take photos, because not to disturb them. And phones, keep it on your silent mode when you go inside the building. But from outside, you can take pictures and all. From outside, you can take pictures. So in winters, we used to have heavy snow and lot of short circuit of fire. So heavy snow falls on trees fall on wires, and we used to have short circuits. So this building was very important to be saved. A lot of buildings have been gone like that due to short circuit of fire. So this building, on top of the building, there are 24 tanks kept. 1 meter gap each, there are fountains. And the fountain is covered with wax and a thin glass. And if the temperature goes more than 60 degrees, the wax would melt, the glass would break, and the fountains would start flowing. This is for the firefighting system. So very nicely been done. So therefore, till now, no fire, no nothing. So on top of the building, when it is monsoons, all the water is gathered under the grassy lawns. There we have lawns, there is water tanks, and that water we use for the gardening purpose. So therefore we are not allowed to walk on the lawns also. But we will go to that corner. From that corner we'll get very good pictures of the whole building. And still further we'll be going to the rose garden, but hardly roses, no, because of winters. They have improved. So there's a dancing girl statue, bronze, that also we can take picture. And then we come towards that side, right side. From there you can take some pictures of the we have an airport there, Shimla airport. It's a nice runway. When it comes, the flights, it's 45 seater, but when it goes back, it's 25 because the runway is quite small. Okay, how many of you enjoyed the train yesterday? See, 103 tunnels. It's a magnificent work, what it has been done. It took 4 to 5 years to get the whole line. And Mr. Baroque, when you came to the longest tunnel, that is 1 kilometer. Did you see? The Baroque tunnel, that is 1 kilometer. So that tunnel, it was very hard to build because that time no lights, no nothing. You just have to reflect with the glasses, the sunlight and all. So Mr. Baroque told, okay, dig it from here and dig it from here. And it came like this and it went like this. It couldn't meet both the ends. So there was one shepherd, Baba Balkuram. He used to take his sheep and all over there. So he had that local knowledge. So he comes down and tells Mr. Baroque, okay, dig it from here and dig it from here. And it got exactly right. So all credit to the farmer because he had the local knowledge. But then Mr. Baroque was penalized with 1 rupee fine for not getting it right because he was chief engineer. So he couldn't digest that thing. So he shot himself. He did a suicide because we all are human beings. We are trying to make mistakes. Why should we do suicide and all? But then we kept that name by his name. Baroque Tunnel, Baroque Village, Baroque Hill, just to regard him. Because of him, we got this line also. And then in Shimla, we have a rail museum, heritage. We named as Baba Balkuram Rail Museum, just to regard that shepherd also. So that's about the train. And the viaducts, did you see the viaducts? Yes. 4-story viaducts. That's really magnificent work done. That's also 4-story viaducts and arch galleries. So all these things were done very nicely by and this is the last stoppage, Shimla. After that, we couldn't get. I wish the British were here. They could have gone much more further. Okay. So 10:40. So 10:40 is our tour, and the tour will begin from here. The wooden ramps. Okay.